Hey guys, what's going on? It's Chris here again with another video, you guys. This is going to be kind of a little different format video. We're not going to be talking about really guns. I'm going to kind of tie these in with the whole, firearms tactical stuff, why you should have them. And this is more oriented towards men, of course. Not really a lady video, but not that any of my videos are lady videos. But to start us off, guys, one of the more important pieces of kit that I think every man should have, whether that be for casual or social use or in a tactical setting, or let's say you're out in the field or something like that and you need a really good watch. This is kind of what this video is going to be about. I kind of went on this kick. I never wore watches really. As a kid growing up, I hated stuff on my wrists. I don't know why. I got really weird. And then, slowly coming to a teenager, I got a few pieces that are in here. My collection's not huge or expensive by any means. That's why I think this will be a really good video idea, just because it's something that anyone can kind of achieve over a year's time. So to get into it, today's video is about watches, guys, and the importance of them, the different types of watches. That we're going to mainly be talking about two different types of watches or movements. And then we're also going to get into some of my favorite watches, some stuff that you could buy all different budgets. So to get into it, I'm going to open up the watch box. You guys can go and start your watch collection, a simple watch box from like Amazon. You'll spend like maybe 15 to 25 bucks. Really good investment just because you can keep them all protected. Very nice lid here, locks. You can see them through there. It's really nice, honestly, simple watch box. But to get into it, guys, you're gonna see a lot of different, types of watches in here. Mainly, you're gonna see the Japanese variety. I'm a big fan of Japanese watches and watch companies, watchmakers, all that good stuff. Just because, one, you have a really affordable watch. Let's say it's either a quartz or an automatic movement. They have really good price ranges depending on what movement you get, whether it's a quartz or an automatic, or there's different automatic movements, obviously. But just to kind of start off, the number one recommendation that I would like to make to you guys is that you should start off with simple, cheap Casios, and here's why. I went through this watch kick about like a year and a half ago, just because, kind of always brought up, even though I didn't like watches, it's something a man always has on his wrist. I absolutely hate smart watches and think they are diabolical, and you just shouldn't wear one as a man. Personally, I get why people do it. It's just another distraction on your wrist with messages and all that stuff. But kind of to start off here, we're going to kind of get into the different variations of watches that we have, and then we'll talk a little bit more on what you guys should start off with. So the variety I got here, as you can see, we got some Casios lined up here. G-Shock, obviously dead. This one's from a kid, so I still need to replace this battery. We have everything from Citizen automatics to Seikos as well. We even have some nice, more so replica of other watches. They're not replicas, they're not fake. Casio makes this watch, but it's made to look like some of the other different watches. As you can see here, this Tiffany Blueface was super rare for a while. Picked it up at like JCPenney on sale for like 20 bucks. Super dope. But then also you got something here, Citizen. Very similar shaped watches, but the quality is very different. This is going to be a Citizen Tsuyoya. I probably said that really incorrectly. I don't care. This is like one of my favorite watches. It was a gift. It is absolutely an amazing watch. It's now the daily wear besides the Seiko. The Casio is great too. The Casio is super cheap, inexpensive, but kind of the first kind of differences I want to get into is on these watches. I won't take them off the pillows, but like as you can see here, I don't know if you can see how close, maybe I'll focus, but the Citizen has a solid link band. It's gonna have a little bit more weight to it. It's higher price tag watch, but then you're also gonna get something like with the cheaper Casios, you're gonna get these cheaper link. I am gonna take this off. You can hear it. That cheap watch rattle. This is kind of a beater watch or something to put together with a cool outfit with this color with blues. Now, price difference, like I said, I paid 20 bucks for this one, got it for a steal. This Tsuyoya right here from Citizen ranges, you can get them anywhere from 250 bucks on JomoShop, which is a great tool to use to buy new watches that are overstocked all across the country. They're 100% legit, but you can get those for a decent price. Now, you're probably thinking, I don't want to spend 100 bucks on a watch. Great, we have some great Casio options. Head over to Amazon. You can get I believe it's the AW158, and they have the 148, which is going to be this one, or I think it's the 38, I forget. But there's the smaller one, and then there's the larger one here. Digital watches are great because I'm going to be honest with you, automatic watches are very nice. They have nice movements. They're very professional watches. They require a lot of work and maintenance to be put into the watches for them to work, and then to keep up with them eventually over time. But I will say the best timekeepers in the world are going to be quartz movement watches. They're going to be more accurate over time. They're, you know, because every watch isn't going to be absolutely perfect. You'll either, you know, some watches will skip over in seconds or they'll go backwards. It just depends on what movement you have or what watch you get. It's kind of a hit or miss thing. But quartz watches, if you want something that's accurate, you only need one of them. Go ahead and invest like in a G-Shock, because they're going to be super durable. You can use it to shoot, you can wear it. They even have more, they call them the Cassie Oaks nowadays. You know, kind of got the same shape. Some more popular expensive automatic watches, but they're super solid. They're gonna work and keep time better than most other different movements being automatic. What I will go ahead and say is it's easy to collect Casios. You can see I got, and the G-Shock counts as one. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7. Under 500 bucks you can have all of them. The only reason is the G-Shock, when bought back in the day, was like 150 bucks, but that's the most expensive one. You can have anything from different style watches. Now obviously you have something that's smaller if your wrist smaller. I believe this is the MTP series watch. God, you're gonna hate me with the names, guys, but just go to Amazon. Amazon's best for Casios. You can get something more vintage. If you want to be like Tony Soprano wannabe like me, you could totally go with something like this. Super classy. Ladies don't really care about men's watches anymore because they all have Apple watches, but who really cares what they think? We flex for the boys. I believe it's Swedish, but the Skagen, it's a European watch. It's all right. It's a quartz movement, super simple. I've had it for a very long time. Very nice watch. It's beat up. That was my middle school watch. We also have an older Seiko right here. If I could pull that out, this is going to be automatic as well. Kind of classy, but it's really bulky on my wrist. I do recommend for people with normal or smaller wrists, I would definitely recommend anything 40 millimeter and below, just because once you cross that 40 millimeter threshold, it gets really bulky and chunky and you really don't want to deal with it. I love, and this is one of my favorites besides the Citizen, because this one actually has the most wear time, is going to be the Seiko 5 Sports. These are amazing just because you can get them on Joma Shop for super cheap. They have an amazing array of colorways. They have, you know, steel link bands. They have NATO straps. I actually love NATO straps. I kind of do them my own way to where it's still, you get the utility out of a NATO watch. So if one side breaks, the watch will still be on you, but flopping. If one of the little, you know, strap bars flies off, you still have a watch. You know what I mean? Because it feeds in under the actual watch here. But what I will say though is the Seiko 5s is honestly where I'd recommend you start if you want to get into automatics, only because you can get them from anywhere from 150 to 250 bucks, especially for the nice ones. And if you want to get it to a GMT, which I don't currently have one, that's gonna be my next buy. It's gonna be a Seiko, guys. I love Seiko and Citizen, but Seiko's my favorite. GMT watch is going to be a watch that can actually hold 2 different time zones. So if you're constantly traveling, or let's say you're on deployment or something like that, and you want to keep track of what time it is at home, but then you need to keep your standard time, it's actually gonna have another hour hand on it so that you can keep time of another time zone. So you're gonna have, you know, a total of 4 hands on it. You're gonna have 2 hour hands, a minute hand, and then you're gonna have a second hand. So you're gonna have 4 total hands. It's cool. It's a flex. I don't go, you know, when I travel here soon, we're gonna be traveling out of the country, you know, going to Eastern Asia here and also South America as well. You know, South America is not that big of a deal with time zone changes, but definitely like going to somewhere like Japan or something, I'm gonna want a GMT just so I can know what time it is back home, because I would hate to just, you know, already be jet lagged and on vacation having to worry about stuff, and then I gotta worry about, oh, my family's texting me or something like that. So I really thought this was an important topic to talk about with you guys, just because people overlook this as a part of kit. You know, it's really easy to get all of the firearm stuff, medical, body armor, all that good stuff. Having an accurate timepiece to keep track of time, just because in the field or something like that, you're not gonna be using your phone at all, unless you wanna get hit with an FPV drone strike or something. I don't know. know, shout out to the Ukrainian boys on there. But you don't want to use your phone plus under night vision and stuff. It just gets wonky. You don't want to risk that as well. Huge signature on the phones every time you open up that phone. But watches will keep the time. They will. I love automatics just because they're really cool and classy. You know, a lot of them have skeletonized backs so you can see the actual movement. I would definitely stay away from really old retro automatic watches, as those are going to be, you need more tuning to them. They're going to need more adjustments over time just because the movements do break sometimes and they need repaired. There's seals on there. A lot of these are waterproof, but, or, you know, they'll have 50 or 100 bar limit for diving or dive watches. Just like for an example, this Seiko does not have 100 meter or 50 meter bar water resistance at all. It looks like a dive watch. I like the look of a dive watch, but I really didn't need to spend that extra money yet to get a watch that has that. So there is that as well. I stay away from leather straps. I hate them because you sweat them, they get soggy, they get way heavier. If you're gonna do any kind of strap that is not a stainless steel band, I would definitely recommend something like a NATO strap like I showed earlier with the Seiko, but then also rubber. I would actually prefer a rubber wrist strap on a watch than a leather, just because leather gets beat up, it gets just stressed really weird, and I just hate it. They never look good on people's wrists for some reason to me. A guy could have the best wrist in the world with a leather, you know, band watch, and I'm gonna think it's the ugliest thing in the world. Even if you put a leather band on one of these, I'm gonna think it's butt ugly. But that's just my personal opinion. You want a leather strap watch, go ahead. It's just going to soak up a whole lot more water than any of these other options. I always recommend stainless steel just because, especially for like solid links, just because it's more durable, it's got some heft to it, and like I said, durable. So that's what we're looking for here, guys. If you guys have any questions about watches or where you should start, let me know down below. I'm automatically gonna say off the bat, go get you like an AW158. I think that's the name. I don't know, I probably bricked that. This is where you start right here. It's like 24 or 30 bucks. You can go to Walmart and get them cheaper. You can order it on Amazon, have it next day. And also, buyer's guide here. If you are buying a watch on Amazon, there are only 2 sellers I approve of purchasing from. Joma Shop, which they have their own app, they have their own storefront. You purchase directly through them. But if you see something on Amazon that's sold through Joma Shop, I believe they're based up in Brooklyn, New York. They're a wholesaler, distributor of overstocked watches from all across the world. They have some really exotic watches that they don't usually sell here in the States or weren't released here. Like they have a bunch of the different Arabic, you know, numeral watches and stuff like that, and a lot of stuff from Asia and Europe as well that they get in. Only buy from their website or on Amazon. If you see on Amazon, check the sold by, not the ship by, because a lot of times I have made this mistake before. I bought a watch thinking, oh cool, it's coming here. It was a complete fake. They even do fake Casios on there, especially if it's from some knockoff watch shop on there and the deal is too good to be true. So you live and you learn, right? So that's why I'm trying to help you guys out here. So what I would go ahead and do, only purchase if it is sold and shipped by Amazon, or if it is shipped by Amazon or sold by Joma Shop, go about it that way. But like I said, guys, if you guys have any questions, leave them down in the comments below. You guys can hit me up here or on Instagram. It's gonna be chrisx.32 on Instagram as well. You can check out all of the firearms content. I do work in the firearms industry for a major manufacturer, so I'm gonna be having a lot more cool content coming out in regards to what I do for work, but then also kind of the gear and guns that I've kind of gone over or have purchased over the years that, you know, I've built up, and new products that are hitting the market as well, you guys. But this is Chris, and it was really nice to show you guys this kind of a different video. You guys have a great night.